With a voice like Brandy's, no wonder she looks like an empress or the daughter of a pharaoh rising up. Welcome back to Y.E.S, everyone. Today we're going to talk about B7, the 7th studio album released by Brandy. I was pretty excited for this album, but I was more ecstatic to just listen to Brandy's voice once again. She sings beautifully. There's something about certain voices, especially in the R&B realm, that I have listened to in the past that I just simply latch onto, and am just so grateful that something so beautiful can be shared, expressed, and just projected in such a way that human ears get to hear it, embrace it, absorb it. I think you get the point. It also has been a while since I've gotten an R&B album in general like this one that was pleasant enough for me to want to listen to, and that I cared about wanting to put out a review for. Now, my first time listening to this album, I was virtually on cloud nine, just being swept away, lifted up, feeling like I was weightless listening to her voice. And then I decided, okay, I had fun. Now I need to bring myself down and just make sure I'm going to analyze the album fairly. And yeah, this album isn't flawless. There's a lot to recommend, mostly in regards to her voice, but there are holes there, and so I'm going to talk about both of those things today. As with many of the holes in my reviews, they usually revolve around lyrics. And in here, there's a couple of times where word choices in the lyrics will affect the album, but there's also a couple of messages, not many, but a few, that I found slightly puzzling, such as the song Baby Mama. There are plenty of awesome things that single mothers do, enduring through that blessing and hardship, but I felt like it was also kind of encouraging in the way that we wish we didn't have to have it that way. Rather, a nuclear family would be better. So I'm not sure. I'm not trying to take anything away from women who raise children on their own. I'm just saying some of the lyrics were kind of confusing for me and maybe suggesting a message or lifestyle that I don't technically agree with. And the song Saving All My Love, which is the first song, and actually very catchy for the beat, but I wasn't totally there with the lyrics. The song Unconditional Oceans does have a really good beat, but it feels slightly awkward alongside the lyrics. That's kind of a funny thing to be able to mention, is when those two things don't mesh as well as you think that they should, or would like to. Something else in this album I wasn't on board with, and it's something that I'm not on board with most albums, are interludes. Now, she doesn't call these interludes, but they might as well be. There are 4 tracks in here called All My Life. One is part 1, part 2, part 3. It just feels like filler, but that unnecessary filler that just, feels like it's trying to create that album experience, and I just don't care about them. Okay, like, I haven't talked about that actually in quite a while, but man, it's just, they weren't needed. Okay, I just have to say that, and now let's move on, I guess. The song No Tomorrow is that simply good R&B song that you would just like to have throughout the album, but it did make me think it could have pushed itself and it would have been so much better. The song Say Something has semi-faded vocals in there. However, I will commend that the trumpets at the intro reeled me in at the beginning, so I was excited throughout, just didn't end as well because of that vocal experimentation. The song High Heels, which has a feature with the artist, I think it's pronounced Sy'rai, was kind of a strange collaboration, and it had some strings in there that felt like they were bordering on sharp, and that kind of just, messed with my ear ever so slightly. But to counter that point, she does have another feature which acts more like a duet. in the song Love Again with Daniel Caesar. I like mentioning this song because it just is well balanced. And an R&B duet is one of the most phenomenal things you can experience with your ears. So go give that one a listen if you would like. The last song by Bipolar was okay. It had good piano and some chimes in there, but it's another one of those topics that could be potentially semi-sensitive, but the way that she was addressing it, I was like, okay, that is your choice, I guess. I know that I'm making this sound like a negative review because I truly am nitpicking a lot of things in here, but there are so many songs in here that do genuinely have good beats, even if some of those beats have slight mishaps within them. And Brandy's actual vocals, not always the lyrics, but the vocals themselves, she delivers magnificently. That part I can commend and can definitely, without a doubt, feel confident in saying in this review. But although I can't stress that enough, and I don't want to elongate a review just for the sake of elongating it, I guess I will wrap up what I have presently, and let's get down to the nitty-gritty. So after having listened and reviewed this album, I'm going to give production a B, I'm going to give creativity a C, and I'm going to give expression and lyrics a C-. And how would I recommend this album? I'm still going to give this album a good. Again, her vocals are what is saving this album. She just has that gift that can raise something up. And thankfully, not too many of the other things would make me think that this album deserves to be recommended lower than that. But yes, plenty of holes to be able to share here. Evidently, I did that. But go check it out for yourself and see what you think of it. Some of you are probably going to have totally different opinions on some of the songs that I highlighted. But that's okay. Let's talk about it down below if you care to do that. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to follow me in my social media links down in the description below, and be sure to leave a like for the video as well as a comment down below if you want to engage with me. And remember, if you want to discover, promote, and review the best in entertainment, be sure to subscribe to this channel so you can get that yes in your life. See you next time. Guess I just didn't have enough interest to actually use a clip from one of the songs, even though I did have some positive things to say. Despite that, let me know which song you like the most if you have given this album a listen. I am genuinely curious about that.